probably best known for Batman the Animated Series. Directed the rock video for Pearl Jam, Do the Evolution. History of the world in 4 minutes for stoners. and lots of other cartoons in the 80s that you guys have seen. A couple of Disney features, work in development, and still working in animation right now.
I'm not. I retired recently after 37 years in the industry. I cast and direct voices for, I did casting and voices for Hanna-Barbera, Warner Brothers, Nickelodeon, cartoon, all of them, pretty much. Marvel, I think, was the only company I didn't work for. And I only just recently retired, and retirement is the best kept secret on the planet. While I truly enjoyed working in animation, and I really did, and I'm sure that all of you guys can attest to this as well. You may go to a social event and you don't know everybody there, and someone says, "So, what do you do for a living?" Which is a very American thing, by the way.
Yeah.
Europeans don't ask you what you do for a living; that's not about what they ask. And you would answer the question, I work in animation, and typically the layman's response is, "That is so cool," and it really is. Actually, it's really cool to be able to say I made my living making cartoons for a living. So casting and directing is predominantly what I do.
That's wonderful. I often think about the bad parts of the industry, but there's a lot of good parts too, and it's the people. And I want to say specifically, hi, I'm Bob Cameron, specifically the time that I worked with actors in the recording sessions doing the voices was my favorite part, because it was play acting. And I was the kid who was always pretending to be something I wasn't. And so, I get to work with very talented people who can be anybody, and they can take your ideas and bring them to life and breathe life into them. And thank you for that. And you think about the cartoons you love, but what you relate to is what you hear, and that is the heart of the character. Why am I here? Ask Gary, he knows. I was invited. And where's the plane? He's the plane. So I worked traveling around for a long time doing caricatures and portraits at rodeos and fairs and amusement parks and dens of iniquity. And so then I met Gary and he brought me to New York, and I started working at Marvel Comics doing Crazy Magazine. And worked at Marvel for some years doing lots of comics and inking John Buscema and drawing Conan and G.I. Joe, and I had to learn how to draw guns. And then I got into animation with Thundercats and Silverhawks and Tiger Sharks and Monsters and Karate Cat. All these shows at Rankin-Bass, and then I moved to L.A. and it's all online. I worked on a lot of cartoons, but it's been fun. It's been a good ride. And I did Ren and Stimpy.
You're all absolutely right. It's definitely the people that you get to work with. If you have your own studio, the ones who are working with you and for you and have the same mission that you have. My wife and I have had an animation studio up in White Plains, New York. It's going to be 30 years next year. I cut my teeth on things like Strawberry Shortcake and Berenstain Bears and all this other dreadful stuff. There were still people working in the industry in the 80s that had been around since the 30s in New York. And it's the most incestuous industry. Everyone feels they know each other even if they've never met. I not only worked with great animators like Tisa David and Bill Littlejohn and Tony Eastman, but I specialize in translating print and cartooning and illustration and design into animation. So I get to work with people like Don Martin and Al Jaffe and Al Hirschfeld, and exactly. It's like if you told me I was doing this in high school, I'd say, "Get the what?" It's really wonderful. It's interesting because we're we specialize in commercials and short form stuff, but we're known for the longer form stuff. We launched the first season of Beavis and Butthead because no one else would do it. And we did it all digitally too. We weren't using Cell and stuff. This is back in '92.
You were breaking ground.
We were, and then they went back to Cell. So go figure. We created the cartoons with Robert Smigel for SNL. We did the pilot for Harvey Birdman, and I think we've learned that it's fun to consult and develop, but to actually get into the big productions is not really our thing. So that's where we come from. And it's wonderful having a studio with your spouse. Never thought it would have worked when we first met, but it's really been great. If you ever have a chance to do that, it's a great thing.
You know, I've been to his studio.